All right. Welcome back to the Start Build Grow Show. Welcome to 2019. Here we are live again. I think Nick's gonna figure a couple things out here, but we tried to have a little bit of technical difficulties. We're also trying to do this whole watch party thing that Facebook started. So hopefully that works. I'm not sure if it's catching on or not. Looks like it's getting ready to jump on here. So bear with us as we get going. Welcome to the show. Give us just a minute. As you know, we love interaction. We want you to share this out with your friends, family. Today, we got a really great topic that I think, I want to get some interaction, some Q&As, because I feel like a huge part of our success and my success as an entrepreneur has been our ability to plan and our ability to look back each year and figure out and analyze what we did right, what we did wrong, and use that data to set goals and get us moving in a direction to improve moving forward. So that's what we're focused on right now as a company, individually. Both our companies, that's a huge focus. So why not ring in the new year with a little bit of strategic planning, a little bit of Q&A, and maybe if we can get some good questions, a little sampling of kind of a new segment that we're going to be doing called, if you've heard of this guy, I guess he has a few followers online. His name is Gary Vaynerchuk. He did a show or does a show called Ask Gary V. And we're like, why not? Let's do our own version of that. So 100%. We're going to start a new show called Ask Randy B.
100%.
And it doesn't have to be roofing, doesn't have to be entrepreneurship. Oops. Let's just talk about life.
Hold up.
Uh-oh. There we go. Get the mute done.
Yeah, when you pull up the comments, sometimes the sound goes on. But yeah, guys, Happy New Year. Like Randy said, we will be doing the new segment here with Ask Gary, Ask Randy B. So if you guys have any good questions that are focused on strategic planning for 2019, make sure you guys are throwing in the comments. We got a few people that hopped on here. So Charles said, okay, you're late, strike one. So we got strike one from Charles.
We're fired.
Speaking of Charles was the lucky winner of the IMG Elite ticket. That conference is coming up January 22nd through the 24th in Anaheim, California. I'm stoked. I know Randy's stoked. We got some fun plans around it too. We got Disney going on. We got the Laker game going on. Ton of fun stuff. Great opportunity to network with like-minded individuals who are looking to grow their company and take it to the next level. Charles, stoked to see you there, man. We got Chris as well. We got Chris. Randy B for the win. Let's go. I'm pumped.
Let's go with it.
Pendy's pumped up. We got Danielson with Tilcor, our boy. He's been actually on the show before. He says, Happy New Year, boys. Happy New Year, man. Hoping to see you. He's out in Fort Collins. So, man, get back out here in Denver. I'd love to see you, my friend.
Yeah. Speaking of the show, I just booked a number, I think 11 or 12 tickets. So I'm bringing a lot of my team. So people hear me talk about this, these $1 million sales guys. They're going to be there.
How many people are you bringing?
I think there's 11 of us total.
11.
Myself,
really?
My business partner, our director of operations, and we are going to be hosting a private small group session on the last day, in which we're just going to kind of intimately share some of the inner workings of how we built our infrastructure and how we conduct our day-to-day operations within our own organization.
Okay.
So that should be huge value to those of you wanting to grow your roofing companies.
That's on Thursday? You guys are doing
I believe Thursday.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure Jess and Kevin will probably jump on here at some point, but I believe Thursday. But regardless, we'll be kind of promoting it, and you'll know a little bit more about it during the show when you go. So if you are going to IMG, say what's up. Let us know you're going. I'm definitely going to Disneyland. So we're flying out on Monday and Tuesday, or I'm sorry, flying out on Sunday. And then Monday is all day Disneyland. No kids, just me, the wife, and a handful of us think you're going to go.
Yeah.
And that's going to be fun. A little adult Disneyland. I've never done that.
I'm pretty
stoked
on it.
Kids.
I'm pretty stoked on it. I haven't been to Disneyland in a long time.
Disneyland.
Yeah, Disneyland, man. The magical place, right?
Heck yeah.
We got another guy saying what up. Corey, I know Corey's on here a good amount. He says, what's up, guys? Happy New Year's. Corey, what's up, man? Hope all is well. But yeah, guys, I want to give just a quick shout out to the sponsors. You know what I mean? I had it in the comments, but obviously when we're talking about growing the company, we're talking about taking the business to the next level. It's all about, okay, what tools, what resources, what companies are you bringing in to kind of help you, right? We had the Job Nimbus Solution Summit last year in October, and it was incredible to see what people were getting from their solutions that they provide with their CRM system, and how they were able to streamline so many processes. So make sure you're checking them out. Another thing too, that's an issue I'm having myself is, what issues do I delegate, right? I'm like dealing with billing, I'm dealing with this, all those kind of certain things that I just can't stand having to do and spend time on. Make sure you're checking out Boss Up Solutions if you think that could help you out, and you have certain tasks that you should be delegating. And then,
absolutely, the way to think about that is you got to analyze your day and analyze the things that you're doing. If you're doing something that is below a $15 an hour job and you own your own business,
yep,
you got to stop. You got to stop doing that. And it's a lot of times you can't just hire someone right away full time to do that. Even at $15 an hour, you add that up, and for a small business just getting started, that can be really challenging. However, there is a solution, and that is Boss Up Solutions.
right.
So our man Latif, I think he may be watching as well. What's up, buddy? He has a trained staff that knows our industry and that knows the lingo, that speaks amazing with their clients, and they represent you on an awesome level. And we've been using them for almost a year now, and it's been great results. We can just delegate things. If I need something done, our team needs something done, they can just delegate those things over. And they help us out with a lot with the Roofing Academy as well. We're getting some videos edited and uploaded and that sort of thing. A lot of the tasks that just going to take a while, you can delegate to the team.
Get it off your plate.
Great option for you,
man. There's nothing worse when you spend an entire day on tasks that you feel like you shouldn't be doing. You know what I mean? So 100%.
And last but not least, for everyone out there, especially in roofing, I mean, one of the most challenging obstacles you have to overcome when you're starting a roofing business is finding the right insurance at the right rate with the right person. So our man Josh at roofinginsurance.com is hands down, next level when it comes to his customer service, pricing, and just how attentive he is and how dialed in.
I feel like he's always working. I feel like he's always working.
Yeah. That dude's probably sitting in his office right now.
Yeah, right. 100%. But hey, so before we dive too much into it, because what we're going to do is we're going to start about talking about Elite Roofing and what happened in 2018, how business was, what were the hurdles, what were the wins, all that kind of stuff, and then go into how to plan correctly for 2019. But we got a question already on the board, and let's just answer one quick question, and then we'll hop
fire away.
I
love it.
Man. So we got a question from Corey. He says, "I want to smash 2019." Let's go, Corey. Come on, man. He goes, "My question is, how do I attract the right guys? I've been getting hooligans. Is there a way to word the help wanted ad, something to look for in the hiring process? What do we got, Randy? How do we get these right people?"
Hey, man. The reality of it is the culture of your company starts with you. Okay. So if you want to build and smash in this year, I would spend as much energy as you can doing a personal deep dive. Figure out who you are. Take a personality test. Okay. We're going to be talking about that and bring a guest on soon. And we'll talk about that in our strategic planning, because that's a huge initiative that we're doing with our company now.
Yeah.
But you can take a disc test, but we're using a company called CRG, Consumer Resource Group, I believe is what it is, but they're called PSI, Personal Style Indicator Tests.
Okay.
And this is a 15, 20-minute test that you can take and gives you a book to read that really, really illustrates some of your, sometimes it's hard to read because you're going to be, things going to be pointed out that you may not want to admit that you're not good at, or that you are good at.
Right.
But the reality of it is the more you can understand yourself and your strengths and your abilities, you can use that information to infiltrate and to understand how the culture of your business is going to be. So figure yourself out first. And then, the reality of it is your vibe attracts your tribe. Right. I live by that. And the more just straightforward and dialed in and just genuine of a person you can be, you're going to naturally attract people that are like that as well.
Yep.
So think about that as you're trying to build culture for this year, and really focus on identifying what your company's core values are, what your mission, what your why is, illustrate that stuff out, and then look for people that match with those attributes and those values that you set for yourself and your company.
100%. Corey, I appreciate the question, man. If you have anything else that comes up throughout the episode, make sure that you just type it in the comments. Same with everybody else. Like I said, we're going to be focusing on 2018, what it looked like for Elite Roofing, and then in 2019, how do we make sure that we're hitting those goals that we're trying to reach, right? So, okay, so let's take a deeper dive into 2018. You had some pretty big goals in mind, right?
Yeah.
So like let's talk numbers. Let's talk about, you know, what your revenue was the year prior to, and then let's talk about what your goal was going into 2018.
Okay. Well, let's backtrack a little bit
Okay.
into defining how we come up with those goals.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's really easy to just say, "Hey, I want to smash and I want to quadruple or double my company, or I want
Yeah.
20 million, I want 15 million, I want 5 million, 3 million, whatever
We all do.
your goal is. We all want to grow."
Yep.
Okay, but you got to kind of understand the economics behind it as well, and that
Mhm.
and just setting a goal like that is really challenging if you build a business model that's pretty heavily centered around insurance and hail damage, right? So there's a lot of work in a lot of different areas of the country, but it's hard to project what exactly you're going to be able to do when you don't know what storm situations are going to happen,
Mhm.
right? So we actually have gotten to the point now where we actually set two goals. A goal based off, if we don't get a storm, what are we going to do to continue to grow our company, or at least maintain the size of company we are without a storm? So that's goal number one. And this past year, we had reached 2 years ago. We had reached nearly 8, I think 7.5 million,
Mhm.
and we set a goal, a non-storm goal, knowing that we were going to kind of double down and really try to advance our commercial division. We set a goal of 10. We wanted to hit 10 with no storm.
With no storm, it was 10.
Yes,
Okay.
and then our storm related goal was 15. You know, we were like, okay, but we get a storm, we're going to set ourselves up to have a marketing strategy and have all these things in place to go real hard and get as much volume as we possibly can.
Mhm.
Luckily, you know, by the grace of God, we had a big storm, a couple really big storms,
Mhm.
which was awesome. And we were set and ready to go to absolutely smash. So we set that goal of 15, and we were able to hit that in the third quarter. You know, so once we nailed that goal, it was all a matter of, hey, what can we get to? What is this machine actually capable of? So then it became almost like a tertiary goal of 20. Like, can we get to that level? And unfortunately, we missed it by about 500,000.
Oh,
We missed it, but nevertheless, it was an epic
Awesome
year.
year, though,
We
yeah.
learned a lot, and we did 1,000 roofs, and that
You
was
did
a
hit 1,000
challenge.
roofs, though,
Absolutely.
hey?
And
Nice.
our CRM system, our CRM system, guys, having the CRM system built out with all the workflows
Yeah.
and all the processes in place, that's how you're able to capitalize on a storm.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not about throwing 50 people out, knocking
Uh-huh.
a million doors to generate business.
Mhm.
It's about taking a handful of people and having them have like trained snipers ready to just go out and smash one at a time at a really, really high level.
Oh, yeah.
And that's our focus. And the proof's in the pudding. It worked, and it paid off in a big way.
Heck yeah. That's awesome. All right. Well, you know, we got another question, so I want to make sure we're touching on that.
Let's go. Ask Randy B. Let's
it's
make
like-
this thing
dude,
a thing. Let's make it a thing.
It's our boy Troy, man. Our
Troy,
boy
what's up, buddy?
Man. You know, when he's not working inside the roofing company, man, he's shredding the mountains from what I see on
Oh
Facebook.
yeah, I'll
man.
meet you up there.
Yeah.
I'm going on Saturday, pretty much all next week.
Yeah, you guys got to connect, man. I feel like you guys are living
Oh,
on
yeah.
the mountains, dude. It's either
Yeah,
the mountains or the rooftop, right? All right. So Troy asks, as 2018 wrapped up, what tweaks have changed for your 2019? Is it staff, training, marketing?
Really, at this point, we actually just did a kind of a shuffling of the deck with our staff.
Mm-hmm.
We moved some people and moved them into different departments, and we're really focused on growing our commercial and our service department. So we kind of, during the heat of the storm, we had to hire up, we had to staff up, we had to have someone literally just doing will calls for materials. We had a service manager running all the service team that's helping run materials. We had someone that only did permits. We had another person that only did scheduling for inspections. So during the heat of the storm, when you're running, 15 crews, you have to have all these people to help execute at a high level. But when you slow down, you don't need 2 people to run that particular, inspection department, if you will. So what we did is we kind of shifted gears a little bit, and after being able to work with people for a certain amount of time, you kind of figure out what their strengths and what their knacks and what they kind of are interested in. And we're able to kind of move them into different departments and even promote them and get them into better positions. And that's the same tactic we've used year over year over year. So we like to have extra people when we go into a restructuring or replanning, and we're able to fill a lot of gaps and put people in position to really kind of take charge of different roles and different opportunities within our own organization.
Okay.
So we've done a little bit of shifting around and shuffling and moving people over to the commercial and service department, which is just completely busy, really, really busy right now.
Right now it's really busy.
Absolutely.
So what's going on in the commercial side? Because I think that's another good conversational point, because you guys started really dedicating yourself to growing that side. When again? Pretty recently, right?
I mean, we've done commercial
For a
for
while.
a few years now, and it was maybe 2 years ago when we really were like, all right, let's really dive in and figure out this commercial sales process, because it's different than residential. The commercial cycle is way different. I mean, you can go sell a residential roof and have it done within 2 weeks or a week or whatever. With a commercial roof, you may work with a commercial client for a year before that roof actually takes place. So there's a completely different selling cycle, buying cycle. There's a whole different approach as to how you go about doing that. And that's a great plug for my man Ryan Groth, who he may be watching. If you are, what's up, buddy?
He was earlier, yeah.
I thought I saw him jump on here with Sales Transformation Group. And they're also another one of our sponsors. You can get the link on our website, the roofingacademy.com, and connect with him directly there as well. But I started working with him and my sales team. And again, it goes back to doing the assessments. You know, we took our commercial team and did some very high level assessments, personality assessments, skill set assessments for selling ability, natural God-given selling ability. And we use that to kind of build a personal growth programs for our sales team on the commercial side.
Yep.
And that we doubled, you know, we doubled commercial this year, a little bit more than doubled commercial this year. And we're bringing a couple more people over to that side from the residential side.
Yeah.
And we're trying out a couple new approaches to getting these jobs executed. And it's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
And I think we can double, maybe even triple the commercial side on this year.
What's going on in the commercial side right now?
We're stacked. I mean, we're just battling weather. I mean, we got 3-4 jobs going right now as we speak. And it's just a matter of if the weather's warm enough to weld. We're doing a lot of TPO.
Okay.
And that's obviously the biggest battle we're dealing with right now. It's just a matter of as soon as we get any ounce of time or any ounce of weather, we're all in and trying to accomplish as much as we can. There's a ton in the pipeline. Now is when clients are looking to set up and get their contractor set up for the spring and for the summer. So if you're going into commercial, right now is the time to be selling and diving in on commercial. Absolutely.
Well, first off, the weather's looking promising for the rest of the week. So hopefully you guys can really get
today was cold.
It's going up to the 50s though for I think 5 days straight. So that's that Colorado weather. You gotta love it. But so okay, so how you said this is the time to strike right now. So what should these guys be doing right now if they're trying to get heavier into the commercial side? Like what's going on?
Write this down. Centers of influence. I'm going to repeat that. Centers of influence. You need to be finding centers of influence. Write a list out of people that you know or you want to know that may or may not connect you with somebody that is a decision maker for either a building group, an investment group, a management company, HOA, something like that. So you're looking for centers of influence. You're looking for people that can help connect you to people that may or may not be, you know, have access or manage large commercial buildings or, you know, a lot of stuff we're always trying to find is investment groups and groups of people that own buildings, that own groups of buildings, that sort of thing. Property management companies, looking for people that know people. Centers of influence is somebody that's connected. Find someone that's connected to your local economy and your local industry and get with them and try to use that as a stepping stone to connect you to decision makers that are going to be making large roof decisions this upcoming year.
So, I mean, on the commercial side, like you said, obviously that sales cycle is much longer. If the guys are just getting involved right now in January, beginning January 2nd, right, with some of these center influences, do you think that they could have some success with that business this year? Or is that something that's going to be developing for next year? Or what does that look like? And what can they kind of expect?
All the above.
All the above.
You know, there is people out there right now. Doesn't matter where your market is. There's a 100% chance there's somebody out there right now planning on doing a big commercial roof this spring. 100%. There's also people out there right now that may or may not have damage on their roof and they don't know about it. So you got to approach it 2 different ways.
Yeah.
You know, if you're looking for the people that are trying to make decisions, you got to try to, you know, dig your way into to get connected with those people through networking groups, through all different types of, you know, cold calling, whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
But there's also a way you can, we just had Hell Trace on. right? You can use hail trace to locate certain areas where there's been some sort of hailstorm or some
Good
sort
call.
of weather event. You can use that to kind of reference when those events happened, how large the hail was, that sort of thing. And you can use that and actually pull down information to contact owners and business owners directly.
You can do that in there.
Absolutely.
Hey? Oh, okay. And they're actually coming out in February 6th, I believe. They're coming out to Denver. So if you guys are going that, like, let us know. We're definitely going to be checking that out.
The hail report for 2019.
Yeah, that's gonna be really cool. I'm excited about that.
So in that case, that's when you're just door knocking, man. Either digital door knocking, you're calling them directly, cold calling, letting them know that, hey, you're with a local reputable company, and you just want to do a complimentary inspection, just an evaluation or digital analysis or whatever you want to call it,
right,
for their roof, and then just get in there and start building relationships and do your best to try to connect with the influencer or the decision maker and nurture that relationship. They may want to make a decision now, they may make a decision in a year from now, but now is when you want to get in the door and start building that relationship up.
So we got another question from Troy. Troy, thanks for the engagement, man. Appreciate it. He says, what size commercial are you targeting?
I think it's challenging because we're kind of all across the board. I mean, our biggest job right now is, a little over $1 million for one job, but it's a number of different roofs that's drawn out over 18 months. But ideally, I think there's a big niche because there's a lot of every area, especially in our area, there's some companies that are only commercial and all they do is go after the real big dogs, right? The malls and the Walmarts of the world and those sort of things. I think there's a much better niche for the 50 to 100 square project, and just to make numbers easier, looking, $50 to $150,000 projects. Are
you targeting that, or do you see that as a good opportunity?
Both. It's a good opportunity because there's a lot of buildings that fit within that criteria. Plus, it's a good opportunity.
So, what's the best to kind of get your feet wet in commercial? What's the best? Is it new construction? Is it service? Service the best way?
Service. I think there's a lot of people that just dive into commercial and they think there's these huge numbers. They see these big numbers like, oh man, I can do $100,000 job. Let's go do that. Next thing you know, you're into it for 90 grand. You're like, oh no, we got. Hopefully, it was like my buddy Andrew, who's a stud in the commercial world. But service, that's how we kind of really have built our reputation in commercial is, those jobs that just need something fixed, that have a leak, they need a leak fixed and they need you to respond fast. If you have your own service department with trained professionals, with trained wrapped like professional vehicles, and they show up and they diagnose a leak and they do a good job and they fix that leak. Do you think they're going to be calling someone else the next time they have an issue?
No way.
No, but you may fix 10 leaks over a series of 2 years. Then all of a sudden they have a $500,000 roof that needs replaced. Who are they going to call? They're calling you. Service. You got to invest in a service department.
We got Andrew Feigenbaum right here, man. He says, "Happy New Year's, fellas." So he's with Creechjack, actually, our boy. So
what's up, man?
He's been on the show before. He says, "Market towards commercial. If you only market to residential, expect to only get residential." Boom, 100%. I know he crushed his goal this year. He actually acquired a new company, man. Congratulations on that. I know you're going to be doubling down and crushing it again this year, man. So I look forward to seeing your success. Okay, so January. So this was your first staff meeting of the year. Was today, correct? Right. I think you do a meeting every Tuesday. Is that right?
Every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks
meet with our staff and as well as the management teams.
Okay, so bi-weekly. What did that meeting look like today?
Today, well, I obviously sell the training thing. I built a training platform. You can literally plug and play and have your own training platform for your staff. And then we also take that to a whole nother level. And there's other platforms out there that you can use. and we have this training course that we started taking. Fred Pryor is what it is. And we our management team went to some Fred Pryor trainings and that sort of thing. And then we're able to get access to where now we could actually do a training during every one of our meetings.
Nice.
So today we were talking about character, the just character, like the attributes of character, what drives great character. So imagine being in a situation where you got a room full of 15 people that all work for you and we're all learning about character and learning how to be the best individual people we can be. Little things like that are really what I feel like set us apart. So we did that. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to say this quickly too, and I'm not here just to just saying this to say this. Is, I've been to multiple your events, company events, Christmas parties, summer parties, all that kind of stuff, and you can kind of see why talking about that stuff has made you guys so successful. Because when you're at the meeting or you're at the party, it feels like just a big family just hanging out. Right now, obviously they want to have each other's backs, right? And there's all really, really good people. And when you have a bunch of really, really good people who are motivated, right, and are being trained consistently, obviously they're going to be successful, and that just keeps growing and growing. And there's a culture that comes from that. And I know we all want to hit those numbers. We want to do these things and talk about how to be better salespeople, or whatever it might be. But that kind of stuff can go a long, long way.
There is no easy button. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. There's no easy button. I know you started a roofing company with all these huge aspirations and ambitions, and yes, you can achieve those things.
Yep.
But it's not easy. You don't just all of a sudden hire a few people, throw them out there, and have a successful company. You got to invest time, energy, and training. Did I say training?
Yep. I think so.
Did I say training?
I think
training
so.
is everything. We are always looking for opportunities to train our staff, our management team. We just sent our HR director to an HR training like 2 weeks ago. We send our operations managers to operation training, to how to manage other people training, to sales, obviously sales training. We're always learning new software and all these different things. There's constant training. I budget a good amount of money every year for training, and the more you can invest in your people, into training yourself and your team, the better your success you're going to have. You're going to set yourself up to grow and to do great things.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, you have to have good people. Invest in your people. And then all of a sudden, the more you get them trained and the more trained they become, the more that gets accomplished. And then all of a sudden you start getting to a place where you're gradually stepping away from the day-to-day.
Yeah.
And as you train your staff, you're able to free up your time to invest back into your business, to work on your business, not in your business.
And that's the hard part is, when you actually have to analyze, hey, maybe the reason that we aren't able to get the people that we're looking to get, or keep the people that we're looking to get, is maybe we're not taking care of them the way we should be, right? Maybe we're not training them. Maybe we're not focusing on what they want, and it's one of those situations where it's like, hey, they're not meeting your expectations, but it's like, are you giving them the guidelines to be successful?
Think about this. So you have a roofing company and you want to grow. Let me go back to the question we had earlier. You have a roofing company and you want to crush it this year, and you want to get more sales guys and have more sales, more production, and just dominate, right? Imagine being one of 3 companies.
Yeah.
You got a good person that's a good salesperson that is going to be awesome. That person's going to go, let's theoretically, bear with me here. They're going to go theoretically interview with 3 different companies. Okay. And you come in and say, yeah, man, we're looking for this. I'll pay you this, that, and the other. We're just starting. We barely have a website. We don't do any training.
Yep.
But we're looking into different things. But hey, man, I'll pay you more than they will. Come work for me. Then go to the company that comes in and says, you know what? I'm not going to pay you more. I'm going to pay you market value, but I'm going to train you. I'm going to teach you how to be as successful as you possibly can. And I'm going to help assist your own personal lead generation with my own marketing efforts, with my own website and my own,
with my brand,
leads.
with my reviews, right? So it's like, give them that badge, right? Like you were like, I forgot who it was, but it was one of your sales guys was saying like, yeah, I get to walk into the home with that badge on, right? The lead,
it's a badge of honor,
right? Because now when the people look them up online, they got the great reviews on Google, they got the website, they all that stuff, right? So now you're literally just giving them the tools and the resources to increase their chances of closing that deal so much higher. Plus, you're also giving them leads from that as well. So you're giving them leads and you're helping them close those leads, right? So, and you're giving them training programs. Right?
Absolutely. I can't stress it enough. Did I say training yet?
Yeah, I think so. So Andrew says, I'll also hit up the universities. They usually have a pretty good budget for maintenance. I'm gearing up to hit the campuses this spring.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Solid. I like that a lot.
A little bit better. I mean, a little bit better than government work. Government work can be challenging. General contractor work, that's very challenging as well. I mean, that's stuff that's not. I mean, if you don't do it, unless you absolutely just don't do it. You can find good opportunities. There's buildings everywhere. Find the right fit for you and your company. But again, to close out that story.
Yeah.
You're looking for a new opportunity, a new company.
Hey, Joe's
interviewed with 3 companies.
Lester finally got on.
Lester, what's up?
Hey, Lester, what was the show that he watches with his wife? He watches. Oh man, he watches. I think it's The Bachelorette or something with his wife, and so that could be why he's a little late. This
Bachelorette must be just getting over. But imagine if you're in a situation, you're going to look to work for another company, and one company has a great reputation and they provide training. Another company is just going to pay you a little bit more, but you don't know about their infrastructure or whatever. They're only pitching on being the greener grass.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be the greener grass, or you want to be the company that's long-standing, that's going to provide training and provide opportunities to help someone grow in their own individual career? Which company are you going to go work for?
Opportunity, training, right? All that stuff that you just said, right? So, but okay, so yeah, Joe said thanks. Hey, I will say this, Joe, you got Nick Foles. I know you're a big Eagles fan, man. You got Nick Foles now, and he's hot as ever, just like last year. So good luck against the Bears. I'm a big Packer fan, so I'm rooting for you guys. Okay, so you guys, what did you guys hit this year? If you don't mind me asking, what did you guys hit this year for as a revenue?
It's 19.4.
19.4 million. Okay, so what is the goal for this year?
2 goals.
Mm-hmm.
Again, non-storm, there's a lot of stuff left over, plus we're doubling down on commercial. So 20, we want to duplicate what we did in a non-storm year. We want to be able to duplicate what we did in a non-storm year. And that is where the focus is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be hailstorm. It's going to be, how do we get to this level without another storm? So it's going to be very strategic marketing plans towards all the areas, and trying to clean up as much of the project that are left over. There's a lot of stuff left over, and you just got to be very smart and strategic about going and capturing that, as well as centers of influence. And then the commercial efforts that we've put in over the last 2 or 3 years are setting us up to really capitalize this year. It's all starting to hit at once. So I mean, I probably got 15, 20 million out in bids.
Right.
Know, so if a certain percentage of that comes in, then we'll automatically be doing okay. But tracking this stuff is very important. And if you want to really dial it in, I'm going to plug my boy Ryan again. I mean, Sales Transformation Group, that's what they do. Commercial sales, commercial sales development. It's a great program.
So, okay. So what about, did you give me the goal for if a storm hits?
Storm.
Yeah,
okay?
with storm.
If a storm hits, we want to be able to increase by 33% and get us to 30.
30 million, guys.
So that's
remember, you guys heard it right here. Okay. So if storms hit, we want 30 million. All right. $30 million. Man, I think you guys can do it. But when my next question actually goes into that. So let's say a storm hits and you got $30 million you want to do. How do you set up the production side, to make sure that you can fulfill for 30 million? Because that sounds like a lot of production.
Yep. Great question. Because admittedly, that was a big challenge for us this year. I mean, we blew past our goals, and we all of a sudden just got bombarded with jobs. And the way our production was set up was what we had: a production manager, some field supervisors, and a production assistant. And that one manager was the hub for all of our crews. We figured out that was way too many crews. I mean, I think we got up to like 15 crews at one time, including a few commercial. So that was too much for one person to handle.
It's a one production manager for 15.
Yeah. In order to grow to that level, we're going to split that position and bring on some more like supporting people that can kind of support
underneath the production
positions.
manager.
Exactly. So what we're going to do is split.
Okay.
So we're going to treat it like 2 different production departments. So this, say 8 crews, they're going to report to this production manager, and 8 crews are going to report to this production manager. We're going to separate that out to where we can scale without just completely overloading our team.
Do you think that's a good number then? That 8?
Yeah, I think 8 is the optimal number. I mean, once you get above that, it gets really challenging. I mean, imagine 8 different crews calling you at 7 in the morning, needing this, that, and the other, and having to facilitate that. Now imagine 10 or 15 or 12. It gets really challenging. And we definitely, it was definitely a big challenge for us this year. But again, that's what we're doing. We're analyzing where we failed and some of the issues we had, and we're going to put systems and processes in place to be able to capitalize on that next year. So we got a plan.
Yeah. So do you have all of the production set up then for if you're going to do 20 million or if you're going to do 30 million? Like, do you feel pretty confident that that's going to go?
Yep.
Yeah.
We have a very defined role. We have employee agreements. We have a training program, so we can literally hire someone, plug and play, and have them trained and up to speed pretty quick because of the effort we put in over the last 3-4 years. If you want to work with me in the Roofing Academy, it's what we do. We provide systems and processes to where you can plug and play. We have employee agreements so you can just download and get exactly what we use for our own staff.
Yeah.
If you don't have employee agreements, make that a priority this winter. I don't care how big you are. You have 3 employees, 1 employee, 50 employees.
Mhm.
You need to have employee agreements with established KPIs and measurables to track people's growth and to give them something to tangible to work towards.
100%. We got another question from Joe, or not from Joe, from Troy. Dude, Troy is making this the Ask Randy B show, my man.
Yeah, man.
Thank you so much, Troy. We appreciate it, bro. And we got Connor that finally hopped on, man. Connor, we were just giving you a big shout out, man. I hope you had a happy holiday. But Troy says, do you have a bubble chart or a structured organizational chart?
Yes, sir. I actually have that on my agenda for tomorrow to update it. So I have one for last year, I have one for the year previous and the year previous. I have 4 of them. And I actually have a couple examples. Just jump on. He's one of our clients. So just jump on. You should be able to download what we have. And I also have an exercise in the course where you can actually, it's a blank one you can fill out for yourself. You can kind of do a vision board of your organizational chart. So once I get that organizational chart uploaded, updated, because obviously we're making some changes, and I like to build my organizational chart based on future, based on what we could do in the future. So I kind of know which pieces I know.
So you know, almost, yeah, it's almost like the connect the dots, right? So you almost connect the dots beforehand, and now you're just following the map.
Yeah. So last year's, theoretically we had, our whole management team and all their divisions. And then we had positions that were future positions. Like, this is a position that we're going to hire for in the event we need to. In the event we have to scale up production. That's cool. We're going to have that position already dialed in. We're going to have a agreement in place, and their role and everything detailed out ahead of time. So that's what we're working on now. We're revamping all of our employee agreements right now. We got like 20 of them. So we got an HR director now. I mean, you grow, and these sort of things just kind of start coming. So we're trying to provide you an accelerated growth by just sharing the stuff that we've done and the hard lessons we've learned over the years.
So okay, so when you're a little bit newer, there might just be a few of you. And you're making an organizational chart of what it's going to look like for future positions. What were you searching for in the very beginning? Like, what missing pieces were you hunting for in the very beginning?
In the beginning, I was just chasing my tail. I didn't know what the heck I was doing.
Right.
All right, I was just grinding, man.
So maybe looking back, what are the first couple people that you should be bringing on for the smaller companies out there?
This is a little bit subjective to the organization you have. I mean, some owners are very good with numbers and good at doing their own billing and accounting and stuff like that. Some owners are very good at sales, but not detail oriented and not really good at the paperwork. Myself. So it really comes down to what your strength is. So if you're really good at one thing or another, you want to hire someone that balances you out. That's the first hire you need. First person you need, whether it's a partner or an admin staff or a production manager or a field manager or a sales manager or a salesperson, whatever. You want to hire the person that is really good at the things you're not good at. Yeah. And then continue that same process over and over and over and over.
I guess, maybe what I'm looking for then is actually the salesperson ratio to other people in the company. Like, how do you know to be like, all right, I'm gonna bring on another salesperson, or I'm gonna bring on another office person? Like, is there a ratio that you can kind of, or should I just keep adding salespeople and just keep adding? You know what I mean?
That's challenging, because obviously you can't just hire a bunch of office people without having sales or volume. You can't hire someone to have them twiddle the thumb to do nothing. Right. So the idea is you want to sell. You got to sell, right? You got to be able to put numbers up, but all the while you're hiring and training your salespeople. Okay, you're not just hiring salespeople. You're hiring good quality people that match your company's vision and culture, and you're training them to represent your company and to sell deals and to guide their clients through the process. That's what you're doing. So you want to focus on that first, because you got to get salespeople. So when we started our business, my partner and I was like, okay, we know we can sell. So worst case scenario, we're going to go sell a bunch. And we hired my mom as my assistant. We're going to go sell a bunch, and she's going to help us with paperwork. That's how we started. And then we added another admin person. Then we added a service technician. Those are our first 4 people. Once we got through our first little, we don't go to that story, but the first 6 months was pretty rocky, because I just went into it trying to do it the way everyone else does it. It's like, hire a bunch of salespeople, hire a bunch of knockers, and see what happens.
Right. And I think that's where
and it just blew up in my face. I'm like, this isn't going to work. Let's figure this out. Let's restructure this and do it a little bit different.
Yep. Well, hey, our boy Connor, he's hopped on here and he says, build team around your strengths and weaknesses. 100%,
yes, sir. Amen.
Man. Okay. Well, I think we can kind of start wrapping it up here, but you know what?
We talked about planning. Let's
Yeah.
go into strategic. Let's wrap this up with strategic planning.
With strategic planning. All
Yeah.
right, let's go. Let's
Yeah.
see what you
So
got.
if y'all have questions, let's fire away. Ask Randy
Yeah.
B. Hashtag Ask Randy B. We're gonna see if we can make this a thing. Maybe not. I don't know. But anyways, I guess it depends on if my answers are good or not.
Right,
If they're
right.
valuable answers.
100%.
But strategic planning, I think this is something that is imperative for any entrepreneur that's trying to grow a business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you don't take time to actually strategize your growth and plan for growth, you're going to just chase your tail when growth happens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the objective for all of us as entrepreneurs is freedom. Okay, we want to build a business that runs itself to where we can work on our business and live the life that we want, right? Ideally, I think that's how most of us feel when we start our own business. Unfortunately, too many of us get into a situation where we're just slaves to our own business. We're just working. And if we step out, the business would fail or the business would fall apart. Mm-hmm. So I think the whole idea and concept behind strategic planning is plan a business and plan growth of your infrastructure in order to start the process of removing yourself from the day-to-day. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the mindset when you're a small company trying to do that, trying to do this. So, what it really consists of is analyzing last year. Okay. And it all starts with a SWOT analysis. So those of you, if you're on our email list, I'm not going to spam you a whole bunch. We're going to provide good information. I just released an email, I think today or tomorrow is going out, which describes this whole SWOT analysis process. And what that is evaluate your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. So this is what we're going to do as individuals. We're going to do this as an entire company, and we're going to do this as departments. Okay. And each department's going to break out in their own planning session. And this is something that's pretty cool that we started doing last year that was epic. And we take the whole staff and take them offsite, out away from the office for an entire day. We rent a room, like we do our own little mini conference for our own company. We rent a room at a hotel, catered food, whatever, and just have an entire day with an agenda. And we plan and strategize our growth of our business. And I would regardless of whether it's just a couple people or a large organization, that's very important that you do that. Mm-hmm. Because getting away from the office and getting out of the day-to-day is really going to kind of set the tone of, hey, we're doing something unique here, and we're really going to put our mind and our heart into it, and not going to be distracted by the phone ringing and people walking in and out and all the chaos that happens at a roofing business.
Yeah.
So we we have this whole meeting planned. And and actually, I think I'm probably going to be going live. I may actually go live or have you come in and film some of that. So I think I just committed live. So maybe we're going to commit to that, or it probably part of it may just be only for clients. I mean, that's some pretty powerful stuff that we're going to go through. So if you're not a client yet, let's talk. TheRoofingAcademy.com. This is my plug. Nevertheless, so what we're going to do is a SWOT analysis. Strengths. We're going to identify our strengths both individually and as a company. We're going to identify our weaknesses. What are we not good at? Where are we failing? Then we're going to look at opportunities. What are market opportunities? I mean, is there something that we're not capturing as a company? Is there a marketing strategy or a different vertical or something that we're not capturing that's an opportunity for us to grow our business? We're going to look at those opportunities and evaluate those as a group and decide which direction to go. And lastly, our threats. And this is something that can threaten you as a person or the industry as a whole. I mean, we got this wall going up, right? Like we've got this big fight with the government right now trying to put a wall up and stuff like that. Like labor has been an issue for a long time. It's a threat. Labor shortage is a threat to our industry. And if you're not thinking about that, and if you're not trying to put plan and strategy in place in case that it all comes crashing down and we can't, have as much resources as we do currently, you need to have a plan in place for that. So that's what an example of what like a threat would be, if you will.
That's awesome. And like you said, I think getting everybody outside of that office just sets the tone for that. You know what I mean? Just kind of clears everything from that.
And then another little thing that we have on the agenda is I just already mentioned my man, Ken Kais. He's probably not watching this yet, but we're going to get him on as a guest. Okay. And he is the CEO of the company that created these PSI tests, personal style indicator tests. And Cody and I, my partner and I already did this with another coaching group with the Breakthrough Academy that we work with. And we already did this, last summer at a planning event we did. And it was awesome because it really, when you can compare two people on paper with their different skill sets and different attributes, and then figure out, okay, you're really good at this, you're really good at this, you're not good at this, and you're really good at this. Let's make some adjustments to our roles to fit with what we're really good at.
Yep.
So if you want a guideline to do that, I know I talk about this all the time, but if you want a guideline to help execute that, take a personality test. So PSI, personal style indicator. You can Google that. CRG is a company. I don't know the exact website, but I would highly look at that. And if you want to connect with me directly, I can get you connected directly. I mean, me and Ken are working, and I'm doing some training to where I'm going to be able to kind of assess and give these tests out to our clients as well. So we're doing that for a whole company. Every single person in our company, salespeople, subcontractors, everybody who's coming to this meeting, there's probably like 60, 70 people there. And they're all getting these tests, and we're going to use part of our planning event to go over and to where we can all have a better understanding of who we are as people, and that's powerful. We did it a couple of years ago with just a DISC assessment, and it was a game changer for us. But we're just doubling down.
And you guys heard it here first. We expect storm revenue goals of 30 million. All right.
Public.
That's
apparently.
Public now.
Now it's public.
So now you got to do it. All right.
Let's go.
Hey, those 50 books that you're gonna be reading this year, that should help.
That's the big goal.
That should help. That's another goal.
That's another public
Randy's
goal.
also promising he's gonna read 50 books this year. So guys, keep him accountable there if you know him.
Let me clarify.
Yeah.
I can barely read. I'm partially dyslexic and I'm very ADD. So I'm not reading a bunch of books. I'm actually listening to Audible all the time.
Which
right?
is
all the time.
I've given Audible a shot. It's pretty much like reading because you can't be doing anything else during that time because otherwise there's no way you retain the information.
Turn off the rap and the country on your truck and whatever and put on an Audible book. That's how
I gotta turn off the rap music, you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, love me some good old fashioned 90s hip hop, you know. For those of you who represent the 80s child with the 90s hip hop. That's my jam right there. But hey, what am I getting out of that?
Yeah.
How is that educating me? How am I going to stay ahead of my competition and get better as a person by just listening to stuff that I like from rep? No. I'm going to be focused on learning and growing, and I'm going to read 50 books. I'm already 2 books in, and it's only day 2.
Well, hey, I'll say this: if you want to do the rap thing, there's the Defiant ones online, and that's all about Dr. Dre and all that side. But the business side of things, dude, and just so you know, they sell beats to Apple for like $1 billion or something like that. That could be a good education side right there and have a little fun with the rap music. But guys, I think this was an awesome episode. Like we said, goals, strategic planning, right? Making sure that you're doing everything right now, especially on the commercial side, right? If you want to have commercial success this year, this is the time to strike, correct?
It doesn't matter whether it's commercial, service, or residential.
Everything.
You know, there's a lot of work left over everywhere.
Yeah.
You just got to find it. You got to grind and find it, you know? And that's the differentiator, you know, the ones that just hang out and wait for the next storm, or the ones that are just going to continue to grow and grind and do everything they can to capitalize on every opportunity that's out there. Those are the ones that are going to win.
Boom, guys. Well, hey, guys, we wish you the most success this year. All you guys, we hope you guys all crush those goals that you're setting right now. We know you can do it. Like Randy's been saying, make sure that you're putting a plan in place, processes, training, everything like that to make sure that you are successful in reaching those goals. But guys, this was episode, I believe, 42?
I think so.
I think it was 42, guys. We will be back next Wednesday. We did change the time to 6 p.m. Mountain Time. We're going to go a little bit earlier with it getting a little bit darker earlier and whatnot. We figure let's just go a little bit earlier, guys. So that's going to be our standard time from now on.
So for those of you who are still watching, we're going to close this thing out. But now is the time. You know, I try not to be heavy. I'm not trying not to be all pitchy and selling my program or whatever. But, man, we spent 2 years building out a robust training platform to teach entrepreneurship, sales, marketing, strategy, all these things that I talk about on this show that I've talked about all year and all 42 episodes. We can help you with that stuff. It's plug and play. And not only do you have a one-of-a-kind, industry-leading virtual training platform, you also have one-on-one coaching with myself and my team. There's nothing else like it out there. You're not going to be able to find a better training platform that's going to help take you to the next level this year than the Roofing Academy. That's my dedication. And if you're still watching this, if you're watching the replay, I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. You go to our group, the Roofing Entrepreneurs Group, right at the top. I have a link to my calendar. Literally, and I'll even put it in. I'll have Nick put it in. You can literally click right there, jump on my calendar, and let's get on a free strategy call. Let's just talk. And we'll chat about your goals. We'll chat about your strategy, what you want to do in the future. And if there's some continuity in wanting to work with me and work with my team, let's do it and let's work together. So there's my pitch, theroofingacademy.com.
Do we get the t-shirts too yet? Are those coming in?
Here they
Are the new ones coming in though?
This is it.
Oh, that's the new one right
This is the
there?
new one, man. This is
Dude,
a
we
nice,
gotta be giving out
soft
his shirt. Where's my
workout
shirt? I still don't even have his shirt yet, dude. You've been
I
hiding
got
the
one
goods.
for you. It's upstairs.
Oh,
My man
man.
Josh sent them out last week.
Yeah, dude. Thanks.
So-
So boom. Thank you, Josh. We appreciate that, man. That's our boy with roofing.insurance.com. I need one of those shirts though, man.
Absolutely. Got
You've
you
been
one.
hiding the goods. We had a question too about the book being on Audible. It's not on Audible yet, but can we at least give away a book or something?
let's give
Because
away a book.
our boy
Who wants a
Andrew,
book?
our boy with Creed Jack, he said he's halfway through it right now. So
Awesome. So the first person,
Mhm.
we're going to end here in like 2 minutes. So
Yeah.
if you want to do it right
Yeah.
now and you want a free book
yeah,
right now,
Yeah.
Start it, Build it, Grow it, The Contractor's Guide to Success. This
Mhm.
book, when we launched this thing, it went nuts. At
Mhm.
one point, I was number 4 on the entrepreneurship category on Amazon,
Mhm.
where Gary Vee's Crushing It was number 1. That was like my crowning achievement in life. But apparently it's, people are really getting a lot out of this book, and it's really setting the tone for some major success, especially for this year for contractors of all different shapes, sizes, and experience levels. So get your book. I'll give you a free one right now. And if not, you can comment on the replay and maybe I'll give you a free one there too.
So
if someone's not already
what if they
jumped
do?
on.
Does it say they want it?
Tell me you want the book and
We
share
already
this
got
out.
somebody right there. Then
Who
we
is
got
it? Who we
Bernie.
got?
We got Bernie. Bernie wants
Boom,
a book.
done.
All right.
Bernie, congratulations. You just got yourself a book.
if you want something, ask for it. I
Absolutely. Ask and ye shall receive. Shoot me a
Boom.
DM, Bernie, and with your address, and I'll get it sent out to you here this week.
Awesome, guys. Thank you guys so much. Have a great new year. Let's crush it.